Welcome back to the Get Off the Treadmill podcast for small business owners and entrepreneurs, where we show you how to build a successful business and to have a life too. We're going to dive into another topic that helps us make more money in less time and to get off the treadmill so we can experience a life of significance. And now, your host and the author of the #1 best-selling business book, Making Money is Killing Your Business, Chuck Blakeman.
Hi, this is Chuck Blakeman back with you. Today I want to talk about a mature business most people can only dream of owning, and it can and should be yours. I got a call out of the blue from someone who read my first book, Making Money is Killing Your Business, asking me for time to see if I could help him figure out something in his business. He quickly summarized that he had a very successful business and was taking home over $500,000 a year, but was working 5+ days a week. And when he went on vacation with his family, which wasn't often, he worked almost daily while his family enjoyed the time away. He saw that people in the book had figured this out and had built businesses that made money when they weren't there. And he realized now that he could get his business there as well, and was savvy enough to know that getting outside eyes on that would get him there faster. He loved his business and had no intention of selling it, but it was only providing money and consuming all of his time. I understood clearly that he was where I had been in my 5th business. He wanted freedom in his business, not from it. This was his 3rd highly successful business, and it took me 5 businesses to figure this out. I've always been a little bit of a slow learner. So I said I'd love to schedule an hour to chat and see if there's anything we could do to shift things. I actually looked forward to the possibility of working with him because it was clear he was an amazing business owner, and I knew I could learn things from him as well. It was Monday morning when he called, so I said, well, anytime after 1 p.m. today works for me, or tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday afternoons, but I don't work on Fridays. Would any of those afternoons work? He laughed and said, "You son of a bitch. You know I don't have time like that on short notice." Yeah, I kind of knew that, but I did have that kind of time. And I wanted him to see right away what it would look like for him when he was no longer a hostage to his business, but had true freedom in it. We scheduled a couple of weeks out and started meeting twice a month. In the following year, his business grew by 3 times and his take-home doubled. And by the second year, the revenue had grown by more than 10 times and his personal income followed. But all that increase in revenue and income wasn't the story. In the process of growing his business like that, he went from being a hostage in his business 50+ hours a week, serving clients directly himself, to just a few hours a week with clients. The rest of the time was now free to focus on building his business through others and having the freedom to work because he wanted to, not because he had to. And as I had suspected, I did learn a ton from him as well. Freedom is the ability to choose. And in the case of a business owner, it's the ability to choose what to do with my time and my money, which leads us to what it means to have a mature business. We have to stop measuring our business against itself. My definition of a mature business is from the point of view of the business owner, not from the viewpoint of the business itself. I could care less about that. It's the business owner's freedom that indicates the maturity of the business, not the revenue or growth of the business. For more than a century now, we've all been sold the lie that, quote, the American dream is to own a profitable business. But my experience is that 95% of business owners who achieve that American dream find out they have built themselves a job and are hostages. They don't own the business owns them. And I understand that because I did that for my first 5 businesses. What if we all owned businesses that gave us freedom? Not freedom from the business by selling and getting the hell out of that hostage situation, but freedom in the business. What if we didn't have to go to work, but we did so because we wanted to? That's the ability to choose, and that is business freedom. And that is how I define a mature business. It regularly and efficiently generates both time and money for the owner, not just money. In my world, a mature business has a minimum of 2 attributes. First, the business owner is not the producer. If she or he produces, it's a choice, not because they have to. I still produce. I love being with clients, but I'm one of the many who are producing, and I do it because I love to, not because I have to. A mature business allows us to work in the highest and best use of our time and talents. So I spend the majority of my time producing content, speaking, working with small business groups around the nation, and with a few individual advisory clients. Why? Because that is what energizes me. For years, I was a hostage to my businesses, reacting to whatever was coming at me in order to keep my business from going under. But in my sixth business, did I mention I'm a slow learner? In my sixth business, I finally figured it out. And now I do what energizes me. And I have Mondays, Fridays, and the entire last week of the month to choose what to do with my time, my money, and my energy. It was a big but simple mindset shift, but it was also not an easy one. The second attribute of a mature business follows from the first, which again is that the business owner is no longer the only producer and only produces by choice if it energizes them. If that is in place, then the second attribute of a mature business follows. The business makes money when the owner is somewhere else. I regularly hear from business owners that they have freedom in what they feel are mature businesses because they tell me they can go on vacation or that they regularly don't work on Fridays. That is a great step toward a mature business. But when I ask them if the business is making money on Fridays or when they're on vacation, they admit the doors are closed and they are losing money on those days. I've worked with a lot of dentists who take great pride in not having their offices open on Fridays. It's pretty much common practice in dentistry. But that is not a mature business because the business isn't making money while you're not there. And actually, most of them are taking an unpaid day off as well, trying to catch up on all the business stuff that doesn't get done by them Monday through Friday when they're in the operatory seeing patients. They are not business owners, they are income producers, a very different thing. And most small business owners suffer the same fate. So the two attributes work together to give us freedom in a mature business. When the business owner is now free to do things at work that energizes them, and the business is consistently every week giving them time off while it still makes money without them, they are now in what I estimate are the 5% of business owners who have freedom in their business and will never need freedom from it. And a quick note about the 5%. That makes it sound like this is only attainable by the few, but that is not my experience. Just about everybody I know where the light has gone on in their heads about a mature business and have made the commitment to require their business to produce both time and money, they've gotten there very quickly, generally in like 6 months to 2 years. You get what you intend, not what you hope for. When we stop hoping we'll get time and start intending to have it, we are much more likely to get it. So I get Mondays, Fridays, and the last week of every month to get up in the morning and ask myself this great question: what should I do today? Sometimes I work, other times I play, and other times I do some personal or professional development. On those days, I choose to do what energizes me. This is what it means to have freedom in your business, not from it. And it is what I call a mature business because on Mondays and Fridays, the business is still making money without me. Just like we expect our kids to grow up and give back at some point, every business should grow up as well. It shouldn't be a rare thing, and it's not for the smart or the lucky. It is for the intentional. When I define a mature business this way for my clients, I regularly get the following response: this makes great sense. Why haven't we heard this before? It is kind of intuitive. And I agree. I wish I'd been challenged to do this when I was younger. I kind of ask, where was I when I was in my 20s and 30s and 40s? I didn't figure this out until about 18 years ago. One of the big reasons we haven't been wired to think this way is because so much of the advice we get as business owners is to grow our business so we can what? Sell it. This is supposedly the highest goal in business, and it sounds sexy too. The problem is, I know of almost no one who wants to pour years of life into their business just to sell it and walk away unless it's killing them. The number one reason we sell our businesses is because we're tired of being a hostage. When I first started working with one business owner, their declared goal was that within 2 years, they wanted the business to be profitable enough that they could sell it and get the hell out. But instead, they built a mature business in less time than that. And not surprisingly, they had competing offers to buy their business that they had not even looked for. I reminded them of their goal to sell the business in 2 years. And their response was, are you crazy? I don't want to sell this business. I'm having too much fun. I'm doing what I want. And if I sell this, I'll just have to go figure it out and do it all over again. Here's the irony that most business brokers wish you knew, but at the same time, they also wouldn't want to tell you because then you probably wouldn't employ them. The only business that people want to buy is one you wouldn't want to sell. Any savvy buyer knows they want to buy a business, not a job. If you have freedom in your business and take home a good income as well, that's exactly what they are looking for. Why would they want to buy a job, even if it comes with good income? They can get that being a hostage in a giant corporation. When you have a mature business, your business is worth a lot more money without you than it is with you. People who build mature businesses get the most offers and are the least likely to want to sell. As parents, we didn't invest all those years in our kids to end up with just pictures and stories of the past. And most people who invest years of time, money, and energy growing a business don't want to walk away from it either. Whether consciously or subconsciously, usually the latter, I think, we know that growing a business to sell it sounds like a lot of work just so we can be put out to pasture or have to start doing it all over again. But with a mature business, we can let that grand grow it to sell talk go in one ear and out the other. If we want to sell, it's really because we're just looking for a way off the treadmill almost always. And we think that's the only option. But there's an option we never think of, and it's the right one for most of us. Stop focusing on making money yourself and build a business that will make money when you are not there. And then enjoy that mature business for decades instead of being a hostage to it. My wife and I would love if people wanted to buy our house. That tells us the house is attractive and fun to live in, which is exactly why we have no intention of selling it. We ought to arrive at the same desirable place with your business. Why not build a business someone would love to buy and then keep it and enjoy it for yourself? These first few very short podcasts by me are designed to answer the question, why? Why is the least asked most important question in business, and it is what motivates us to dig in on a daily basis and build a mature business. But we also have to answer who, what, when, where, and how. As we finish up on why, these podcasts will get increasingly more practical and will give you proven, very tactical tools that I and thousands of others have used to shorten the process of building a mature business. So I appreciate you not skipping over the why, because it creates the passion, drive, and commitment to answer all the other questions. So let's get a vision and a passion to build a mature business that gets you off the treadmill, that allows you to work because you want to, not because you have to, that gives you freedom in your business so that you won't want to or need to sell it. You get what you intend, not what you hope for. Intend to build a mature business that gives you back both time and money and enjoy your newfound freedom. Keep going.
That wraps up another episode of the Get Off the Treadmill podcast. If you found this podcast helpful, please subscribe and hit the like button to ensure you are receiving the latest tools you need to grow your business and to get off the treadmill. If you want more information on the 3 to 5 Club, the Crankset Group, or to book Chuck as a business advisor, speaker, or workshop leader, you can contact us at grow@cranksetgroup.com. Until next time, have a great week.